Let's talk about the bioceramic Moonswatch from Omega and Swatch, this collaboration. I've seen mostly a positive reception, but I have seen some very vehement vocal detractors that don't get this release. In fact, they hate this release. I've seen quite a few negative comments, and so I'm going to address some of these comments, these types of ideas here in this video, and I'd like to get your take in the comment section if you'd like to share your opinion as well. These are my opinions. But the first comment that I got several times went something to the effect of, Bruce, I can't believe you're calling this a Speedmaster. This is not a Speedmaster. This is a cheap plastic swatch. It's not an Omega. This would be like if Porsche took their badge and they placed it on a Volkswagen and called it a 911. It's not a Porsche. It will never be a Porsche. It will always be a Volkswagen, no matter what the branding says. I can't believe you don't see this. This is wrong on so many levels. And, I like the passion, guys. I like the passion. I like the car analogy. Let's take it a step further. I think the more appropriate analogy would be if Porsche and VW both collaborated on one product. They put both of their logos, both of their branding on a predominantly Volkswagen produced and priced, obviously priced product that looks like a 911. That would be the more apt analogy in my opinion. But it doesn't change the fact that this is an authentic Porsche collaboration, that the profits are going to the same company. It is the likeness of the 911. It carries the branding of the 911. It's advertised and teased by both Porsche and Volkswagen. It really is an authentic collaboration. You just might not like the idea behind the collaboration. And I get that. It's a new model. Nothing like this has really ever been done to this degree. I mean, there are some brands that have a more affordable option and then a luxury priced option, but not to the price disparity of $260 for a Moonswatch and then a $6,000-$7,000 Speedmaster Professional branded only by Omega. This has never been done to this degree before. I understand it's a little bit shocking. I understand that your knee-jerk reaction might be very negative, but again, it doesn't change the fact that this is an official collaboration. Omega teases this watch on their social media. They display these models in their boutiques. This has their logo predominantly on the dial in addition to Swatch. I could get your criticism if Omega only had their logo on this, but it was obviously made by Swatch and carried the G10-212 quartz base movement and all that. And they just left Swatch out entirely and just branded it a $260 Omega. I could see how that might be more shocking, but they're making no secrets. This is a collaboration. This is an official collaboration. And like it or not, this is part of the Speedmaster history moving forward. You can buy a $40,000 precious metal Speedmaster. You can buy a $7,000 sapphire sandwich. You can buy a $260 bioceramic Mission to Mars variation if you want to. It's still going to be an official collaboration with the profits going to the same group. So I don't think your analogy is quite valid, with respect. Now, the next comment that I got several of went something to the effect of, this watch is a joke. I used to respect Omega. I used to want an Omega, but not anymore. I'm turned off from this brand because this release is a garbage children's toy. And with this one, I don't agree with you one bit here. I think this is the definition of real watch snobbery. And I think there is nothing wrong with liking luxury watches and only luxury watches. I like to say that I like all watches. I really do, but I have preferences. I prefer luxury watches over high horology watches. I prefer luxury watches over affordable watches in most instances, and I don't think that's a kind of a crazy thing to throw out there. So I get that there is nothing wrong with liking luxury and only luxury, but if you're getting triggered, if you're getting genuinely offended or miffed with something that you once wanted that you don't want anymore, because what you see as a lower class watch or product being enjoyed by new watch enthusiasts and people that are really excited about this groundbreaking collaboration, honestly, I just don't relate to you. In fact, I feel it's kind of sad. I think if you really just don't like this, nobody's forcing you to like it. Nobody's forcing you to buy it. Nobody's forcing you to watch Moonswatch content. I would just say don't buy one. But don't be turned off by Omega. Omega is an awesome brand because they've done a collaboration with a sister brand within their ownership group, within the Swatch group. But I would say don't go out of your way to put the watch down or to put the people who like the watch down, because that's even worse in my opinion. This watch is terrible for the money, terrible value for the money. I wouldn't spend $50 on this. The alignment is bad after you adjustment. The case color is bleeding on the Neptune series. Come on, even Casio, even Orient can get a watch that aligns at this price segment. This is terrible value for money. And fair enough, that's a good comment because this watch isn't class leading when it comes to value when you consider the specs. It's a throwaway G10.212 based quartz movement. It's not class leading. We have a plastic crystal here. The color is bleeding on the Neptune series. That is well documented. I haven't noticed it on any of the other colors, at least from all the forums and groups that I've read and owners that I've talked to. But yeah, this is not a spec monster. The allure, the appeal, the draw of the Moonswatch is the simple fact that it's a freaking Speedmaster, done in bold colors, done in bioceramic, with multiple options when it comes to, how bold and how flavorful you want to go, all coming in at $260. It's opening up the world of the Speedmaster to a whole new consumer base, and I think that's a really exciting thing. That's going to get a lot of people interested in Omega, in buying a Speedmaster. I know a couple people that weren't really into the Speedmaster before, but after getting a Moonswatch, they want the real thing now. I think it's a great move for the brand. And that's where the allure, that's where the appeal comes from. If watch collecting were as simple as only buying the best spec monster for the money, we'd all be wearing Casio Duros and G-Shocks, 5610s. And what a boring world that would be. I found watch collecting is not logical. It is largely emotional. And the Swatch group has really dialed in on the emotions of not only watch enthusiasts, but just people that want a nice watch, that want a Moonswatch, that want a Speedmaster. So I agree. The value proposition isn't present in terms of specs, but it definitely is present in terms of being the first brand to do something this extreme, taking their luxury image, the Speedmaster, and placing it in an affordable watch that hopefully the masses can get their hands on if it becomes widely available online or at multiple authorized dealers. So that's what I have to say about that. And then let's talk about the color transfer. Again, that has been documented on the Neptune. I haven't seen it or I haven't heard about it happening on the other missions, but it's taking place on the Neptune. And this type of thing happens all the time with new products from luxury good companies. There's often problems that happen during production that is not foreseen in the prototype process. That once you kick it into high gear, then something rears its ugly head. It happens regularly. In fact, I'm surprised that only this thing has happened with this release. It's not an uncommon thing, but what I can say is I'm sure when Swatch is producing more, they're going to take a look at that and they're probably going to fix it. I would assume that the next generation of the Neptune is not going to have color bleed or color transfer, which makes me think that, as silly as this may sound, that there's going to be a collectability aspect involved about the Neptune, the first gen Neptune that you had to buy on release date at a boutique, a Swatch boutique, because there's not going to be a ton of them out there. And if they color bleed, that's kind of like finding the misprint in coins and currency. It's going to become a collectible, maybe a desirable collectible. And I do know a couple people that bought them, one being Random Rob. And the nice thing is, these individuals that I know that have it, they're not fussed about having a little bit of blue on their wrist. as frustrating as that may be, I don't want my wrist to turn blue as I'm wearing a blue watch, but they shower. It's not the end of the world. I think it's a little bit humorous there, but yeah, definitely frustrating in that aspect. Now, the next hater type of comment is the strap is crap. The strap is crap. And with you, I wholeheartedly agree. I think the strap is stiff. I don't think it's comfortable. It doesn't look like it's going to break in nicely over time. In fact, if you buy a Moonswatch, I would encourage you to take it off that Velcro strap and put it on something more comfortable. Fortunately, most of us watching this video, we are diehard watch enthusiasts with strap collections, and we have no problem taking out our Bergeon tool and swapping out the strap with something we like a little bit better. Put it on your favorite strap. Try it on different options. There's a lot of possibilities to be had by changing the strap out. So I totally agree. The strap is not something that I'll ever use. When I buy mine, hopefully I can get a Mars. I have my eye on a couple should it become widely available. And the first thing I'm going to do is take off the strap and play with other options, because I think that could be a lot of fun. Now, the last comment, I've saved this one for last, because everybody relates things to Rolex. Rolex would never do something like this. We would never see a Rolex Timex collaboration or something like that. They would never do something like this. It would devalue their brand. And to you, I would say they would never do something this extreme, but they were the first, or one of the first, to get the jump on this type of idea. It's the whole concept behind Tudor is to make a more affordable version of what you're already producing at a higher level. You know, that's what Tudor has been for decades. And it really wasn't until recently that they have become more of their own brand, so to speak. They're still very much tied at the hip with Rolex. They still do Rolex things in a more flavorful way. They're not just offering Tudor Submariners, as popular as that may be, but that was the idea behind Tudor as a brand. So Rolex, they thought of this decades ago, but they haven't done anything this extreme. And I agree with you, they likely will never do anything this extreme. And I'm not sure many other brands will too. Can you see a Grand Seiko 5 or Seiko Sports collaboration? Probably not. You know, I'm not sure many brands could pull this off to the same degree of success that the Swatch Group has been able to do. So we'll see what happens down the road. But ultimately, I hope that the Swatch Group really pumps this up in production volume, puts it out to its authorized distributorship, puts it on the website. I hope it floods the market. I hope everybody who wants to buy one or multiple is able to do so. I hope the scalpers that have paid a premium so they can try to make a little bit of money off of the hype, I hope they're left holding cold merchandise that is just flooded in the market. And I hope that happens. Maybe that's a little rude or negative, but I'm enjoying this release. I genuinely am. I'm really looking forward to buying mine, hopefully at some future point. I really don't want this to become we're just gonna stop production after a year and it becomes this hyped, limited type of thing. I think the allure and appeal is that everybody can experience it and not just a select few. So if that happens, if that can, that seems to be the plan, this is going to be just a game-changing release. It already has been to this point. So guys, thanks for watching today. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you in the next video.